what the multi-billion-dollar bridal industry sells you as an exclusive, handcrafted fairy tale is, in the coldest and most brutal textile reality, one of the most aggressive and predatory financial extortions in the entire global apparel market. There is a massive emotional inflation that is triggered the exact millisecond a white dress is slapped with the word wedding. But almost no bride realizes she is paying a 400% markup just to fund the cheap champagne and exorbitant commercial rent of luxury boutiques. If you blindly believe, driven by the psychological vulnerability of the moment, that a $3,000 gown guarantees insurmountable superior quality, or that affordable options saved on Pinterest are nothing more than cheap polyester costumes, prepare to be confronted by the relentless math of global supply chains. True elegance is not a matter of superficial designer tags, but of pure mechanical architecture, where internal bodice engineering, high-density lining, and flexible steel support are the only variables that actually dictate how a garment performs. To shatter this cruel optical illusion and prove that you do not need to be robbed blind to look flawless at the altar, we dissected the most heavily doubted dresses on the internet and discovered that they secretly harbor a structural integrity vastly superior to many luxury labels. Why does the radical elimination of heavy crinoline skirts and brick-and-mortar retail middlemen allow budget brands to deliver high-density, fully boned bodices for an absolute fraction of the boutique price? How does the application of old-world couture tailoring tactics, such as hidden internal elastic waist straps and multi-layered silk imitation tulle, manage to anchor massive weight without warping or collapsing the bride's silhouette? And what is the exact industrial supply chain optimization that transforms a massive global retailer into the ultimate secret gold mine for heavy glass-beaded gowns with premium finishing? To understand this, we need to completely ignore the emotional manipulation of bridal salons and conduct a ruthless forensic audit into the fibers and seams of these 5 garments. Walk into a luxury bridal boutique. Step onto the velvet platform. Look at the wedding dress reflecting in the 3-way mirror, carrying a price tag of $3, $500. The consultant adjusts the train and tells you it is a handcrafted masterpiece, a once-in-a-lifetime garment. She is relying entirely on your emotional vulnerability. The bridal industry is built on the most aggressive emotional markup in the entire global apparel trade. The moment a white dress is categorized under the word wedding, a 400% financial premium is instantly applied to the invoice. They use the romance of the day to blind you to the raw textile reality that the $3 or $1 designer gown is frequently constructed from standard polyester crepe, held together by cheap plastic boning and assembled in the exact same high-volume overseas factories as everyday retail clothing. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how the bridal industrial complex uses luxury terminology to justify exorbitant retail prices. More importantly, we are going to expose 5 cheap wedding dresses frequently saved on Pinterest that the average bride doubts because of the incredibly low price. These are gowns that our forensic teardowns and textile evaluations verified are secretly utilizing premium structural engineering, high-density lining, and genuine design integrity, charging a fraction of the boutique price. Before we name the brands, you must understand the mechanical and structural architecture of a wedding gown. A wedding dress is not just a piece of clothing, it is a weight-bearing structural device. The defining factor of a high-end gown is the internal bodice engineering. In cheap, poorly constructed dresses, the bodice relies on single-layer fabrics and low-grade plastic boning. Plastic boning reacts poorly to body heat. Within 2 hours of wear, it warps, bends, and digs into the ribs, causing the fabric of the bodice to pucker and collapse across the waist. Premium gown construction utilizes multi-layer internal corsetry, high-density satin lining, and double-stitched channels, holding flexible steel or heavy-duty horsehair braid reinforcement. This internal cage distributes the weight of the heavy skirt evenly across the torso, allowing the dress to stay perfectly upright without slipping, sagging, or wrinkling, regardless of how much you move. The designer boutiques charge thousands of dollars for this structural support. The 5 brands on this list deliver the exact same structural integrity for a fraction of the cost, proving that elegance is a matter of pattern drafting and material selection, not emotional inflation. Number 5. Lulus Bridal. Lulus is widely known as a fast fashion destination for graduation dresses, vacation attire, and weekend wear. When they launched their dedicated bridal line featuring gowns priced between $100 and $300, the internet was deeply skeptical. The prevailing narrative on Pinterest boards was that a $150 wedding dress must look like a cheap Halloween costume, sewn from thin, static-heavy polyester that clings to the wrong places. Our physical evaluation of their signature crepe and lace gowns proved that skepticism wrong. Lulus achieves this pricing floor through radical structural simplification, not by using garbage materials. They eliminate the heavy, multi-layered crinoline skirts that require complex, expensive shipping boxes, focusing instead on sleek, modern column and slip silhouettes. We examined the fabric weight of their heavy-knit crepe gowns. The material has a substantial grams per square meter density, allowing the fabric to drape cleanly over the hips without requiring a heavy, hot polyester lining. The side seams are stitched straight on the grain, preventing the twisting and puckering common in fast fashion assembly. At $150, Lulus completely exposes the luxury markup of minimalist bridal boutiques. They deliver a clean, modern canvas that allows a bride to look flawless without paying a $2 premium for a basic column pattern. Number 4. Azazi. Azazi began as a direct-to-consumer bridesmaid dress platform, but their expansion into dedicated bridal gowns priced under $500 has completely disrupted the traditional retail market. Brides on social media heavily save their intricate ball gowns and A-line dresses, yet many hesitate to click buy, assuming that a $400 gown with extensive lace applique and tulle must be utilizing scratchy, raw nylon mesh that irritates the skin. The laboratory reality tells a completely different story. Azazi uses a direct-to-consumer model that completely eliminates the brick-and-mortar bridal salon margin. In a traditional boutique, the owner must pay high commercial rent, compensate consultants on commission, and maintain expensive sample inventories, forcing them to double or triple the wholesale cost of the gown. Azazi cuts out the retail middleman completely. We dissected the bodice of an Azazi A-line gown. Instead of cheap plastic sticks thrown into the lining, they utilize proper multi-channel structural boning and padded built-in cups sewn directly into a fully lined satin interior. The lace is soft, utilizing a high cotton-to-synthetic ratio that ensures it sits comfortably against the skin without scratching. You are receiving the exact same factory-level assembly and material inputs found in boutique gowns, retailing for $500, completely stripped of the salon overhead mock-up. Number 3. Avery Austin. This brand is a hidden gem on Pinterest, operating quietly on a try-at-home model. They ship sample gowns directly to your door for a small fee before you commit to the final purchase. Their wedding dresses retail between $500 and $900. To a consumer trained to believe that a real wedding dress must cost at least 2 months of rent, a $700 gown feels highly suspicious. Our forensic breakdown of an Avery Austin satin ball gown revealed a level of old-world manufacturing that shames designer labels, charging triple the price. They strictly utilize heavy, high-grade bridal satin with a deep, radiant luster, rather than the highly reflective, plastic-looking shine characteristic of low-grade synthetics. Turn the dress inside out. The seams are fully finished, utilizing flat-felled or cleanly bound edges that prevent any internal fraying. But the most impressive detail is the inclusion of a hidden inner elastic waist strap. This is a classic couture tailoring technique. An internal elastic belt anchors the heaviest part of the skirt directly to your natural waistline, taking 80% of the dress's weight off the shoulders and bust. This prevents the gown from sagging as the night progresses. Avery Austin leaves this premium engineering intact while keeping the price under 3 figures. They prove that true structural quality doesn't require a high-end designer label. Number 2. Cocomeloti. If you look at the most saved, dramatic, heavily detailed bridal gowns on Pinterest, you will find Cocomeloti. They specialize in massive cathedral trains, intricate beadwork, and layered tulle skirts that look like they walked off a Parisian runway. Their prices range from $600 to $200. Brides routinely doubt the brand because a gown with a 6-foot train and hand-beaded lace typically costs $4,000 in a traditional New York salon. Cocomeloti achieves this pricing arbitrage by leveraging vertical integration through their own specialized manufacturing facilities. In the traditional bridal model, a designer designs the dress, sells it to a wholesaler who sells it to a boutique, who sells it to you. Each step adds a massive layer of profit margin. Cocomeloti owns the production floor. Our structural audit of their heavy tulle skirts confirmed a brilliant execution of textile layering. They utilize varying densities of tulle, placing a stiff, structural horsehair braid-trimmed nylon mesh underneath to support the weight, topped by multiple layers of ultra-soft, fine silk imitation tulle for the exterior drape. The beadwork is locked using a continuous backstitch method, meaning that if one thread catches, the entire row of sequins will not unravel. They deliver the heavy, theatrical drama of a luxury gown because they put every single dollar of the retail price into the physical fabric yardage and embroidery hours, not a global marketing campaign. Number 1. ASOS Edition Bridal. ASOS is an international retail giant, and their premium capsule lines often fly completely under the radar. Their dedicated bridal collection features heavily embellished, vintage-inspired gowns, modern sequin midi dresses, and clean satin tuxedos priced between $150 and $450. It is the number 1 choice for alternative, modern, or budget-conscious brides on Pinterest, and it is the brand most heavily doubted by traditionalists. Our laboratory teardown of an ASOS Edition heavily beaded gown exposed the ultimate truth about the bridal markup. The dress featured intricate all-over glass beadwork and sequin embroidery that weighed nearly 5 pounds. In a boutique, that level of weight and visual density is used to justify a $2,500 price tag under the guise of artisanal craftsmanship. ASOS delivers this exact visual impact for $300. They achieve this by utilizing standardized, highly optimized garment patterns that they run in massive production volumes across their global manufacturing matrix. They use natural glass beads that possess a cold, substantial weight and brilliant light refraction, completely bypassing the cheap, dull plastic sequins found in mass-market alternatives. The interiors are fully lined with smooth, breathable, woven georgette fabrics that prevent the beadwork backing from irritating the skin. When you buy an ASOS Edition wedding dress, you are engaging in pure supply chain optimization. You're accessing the raw purchasing power of a global retail powerhouse to buy complex textiles for the price of a basic casual dress. They deliver the exact visual presence and material weight that boutique houses use to rob brides blind every single day. The bridal industry relies on the psychological assumption that you will measure the love for your partner by the size of the retail invoice you pay for your dress. They want you to believe that a gown is inherently superior simply because it is hidden behind a velvet curtain in an exclusive salon and accompanied by a glass of cheap champagne. They bet their entire business model on the fact that you will not check the boning, that you will not inspect the lining density, and that you will not understand the supply chain markups. Do not be emotionally manipulated by the bridal complex. Apply the auditor's mindset to your wedding day. Turn the dress inside out. Press the bodice stays between your fingers. If they bend like thin straw, the dress will collapse before the reception begins. Look at the lining. If it is sheer and static heavy, the fabric will cling and photograph poorly. Your wedding dress is either a calculated investment in smart material sourcing and pattern geometry, or a massive emotional invoice for a boutique's retail rent. Stop paying the marketing invoice. Go to your closet or look at your wedding photos. If you wore an affordable dress or a budget find that looked like an absolute masterpiece, drop the brand name, the price you paid, and exactly how it held up on the dance floor in the comments below. Help the next bride find the structural gold mine she is missing. Subscribe if you haven't. This channel follows the money, not the marketing.